Hi, so I thought I'd make a quick video because I was asked a couple questions about the Naomi and setup, and you know, obviously I'm not doing anything groundbreaking here. This is some pretty old stuff, but I thought I'd go through it real quick. So what we're looking at right now is the pulled out version, or the pulled out portion of my dynamo cab. You'll see the control panel. These guys pull out. If you've never seen one of these, it's pretty interesting. They pull out right through the middle right there. And there's my Guilty Gear art. This unfortunately says ISCA, but pretend like it doesn't because it's the only marquee I could find at the time, and I didn't like it looking like its little brother over there with no marquee. So above that you'll see the fire alarm, which you can tell I'm not in Florida because it's currently not going off. Alright, that's enough of that. So we go back to the components on this board here, and we'll see the sun power supply, which the noticeable thing here is, you probably can't read this, but there's three little guides here. And what they say is 5 volt, 3 volt, and then POW. Now POW, when you hit it, will turn all of the boxes in the area into coins. No, wait. Anyway, so where you find those is right down here. And this is where you would adjust and, of course, test the leads. So speaking of the leads, what we're going to do is look at these guys. So we got a 6 and an 8. This is standard JBS. You'll see JBS connectors like this in your candy cabinets and also on the JBS adapter kits. This guy over here right now is connected to a GD-ROM cable, so we're going to leave him alone. Don't worry about that guy for now. So again, this is a Sun PSU. Next to it we have the audio amp. Behind that, this little dude over here with this white label, black guy, that would be the power supply for the audio amp. Next to that we've got our standard arcade PSU, and then of course the Sega I/O here. So JAMA Edge connected, power over here, everything else runs through this big wire right here. So this was a quick conversion, so it's not looking so beautiful right now. But the other important part to know about Naomi is that it's a cluster bang o' wires. I mean, pretty much this is everything you need for a Naomi. For the curious there, these two wires that are running off of the Sega I/O here are actually for the 6 buttons. Some people actually think that you can't have 6 buttons with a Sega I/O. That is not accurate at all. And as you'll see, there's those beautiful 6 buttons. Look at those guys. Alright, that's enough of that. So, I should have written a script. Anyway, so what I'm going to show right now is, of course, the Capcom I/O. This thing is huge. For anybody that hasn't seen one, this guy's massive. I actually thought they'd be a lot smaller than this because the Sega I/O there, look at that. That thing's massive. What do you do with this? Anyway. So on the back here you'll see your JBS, VGA, and audio connections. On the other side you'll see the JAMA Edge, CPS2 harness, and the audio out. Now the advantage to the Capcom I/O is that you don't need all of this other crap for the most part. You take your standard arcade power supply, you run power to the JAMA Edge, your audio of course gets amplified right through this guy. In, out, yeah, whatever. So that's the advantage. That's why a lot of people prefer this guy more than this crap. Me, I prefer Sega, and this is pin compatible with my Thomas Wave. It's pin compatible with a whole bunch of other good stuff too. This guy not so much. He of course needs the CPS2 kick harness for the other buttons. He probably has the correct pins on this, but I don't really care because I'm using the Sega equipment. So what I'm going to do is gather some stuff together, and I'll be right back to start playing with Naomi. Alright, so now we've returned. We've got a Naomi in place. It's a bit upside down, because the power connections are over here, the power supply's over there, and they give you like this much cable. So, it's upside down, go with it. While you weren't watching, I went ahead and replaced your kidney with a... No, that's not right. I went ahead and plugged in the power supply for this, the VGA, the audio, and then of course the JBS cord. All of that runs over there. While we have nothing inside this Naomi, we're going to go over some quick little facts about it. So, these little white guys are hanging out. And there's a cross over here that's being lit. No, wrong video. Anyway, so what we have is a coin cell battery. This is a CR2023, which everybody will remember from the Saturn. It's the same thing it used. Next to that battery, this, zooming in. Okay, there we go. So we see this guy right here. This is your BIOS. Right now we see EPRE 21577. So this is an English BIOS that supports GD-ROM and I think it supports NetPlay. I don't know, because there's nothing I have that I would ever need NetPlay for on a Naomi, which is unfortunate. So just going over that real quick, we understand what that is. Now, of course, the easiest configuration for a Naomi is you grab a cart and you pop it right in there, except that would be upside down. So not only do you want to put it right side up, but you want to make sure you're not using a Naomi 2 game. Okay, so obviously that's the easiest configuration for the Naomi. And in just a moment we'll come back and we'll talk about some DIMMs. Welcome back. So as you can see here, I've replaced the entire Naomi with a Neo Geo MVS single slot and a small... No, that's not right at all. Let's try this again. So I'm going to give you a nice zoom up of this Naomi for no apparent reason other than I have to reach behind the cabinet to turn it on. We're going to cover the Naomi boot sequence real quick, so in just a moment it'll pop up. So in the time that you were staring at the Naomi 2 now is the time it takes to start up. I probably should have set the refresh rate on the camera so you didn't get that annoying line, but that's too bad. So what we're seeing right now is Naomi GD-ROM system. You'll see checking memory. This is important, so remember it later. Very quickly we go 73, 84, 94, 100. Wow, reboot, 2, 1, bye. So the Naomi has officially rebooted right now, so you had an idea what the boot sequence was with a GD-ROM system. There's the beautiful Naomi screen. Hi Naomi. You'd normally hear a noise here, but I'm probably talking over it. And loading game. So while that's loading up, we're going to look down here. Now, there's nothing special here. As I mentioned earlier, this cable connects to the GD-ROM, runs behind there, comes over here. Normally this isn't all lackluster while I'm playing it, but it's for my little demonstration here I did. Ferrite coil thing plugs into the GD-ROM. There's a SCSI cable here. SCSI cable goes around right into the NetDem. Now, while I'm talking, you'll have noticed that the game has started. Hey, look there. So that's Capcom versus SNK. And alright, I don't have any coins in it, I don't feel like reaching down there to fix it. So, while the game still started, what we're going to do is come over here and you'll notice there's two buttons. You may not actually notice it because it doesn't really look so well. So, I'm going to hit the rightmost one, and what that's going to do is put us into test mode. There's a couple things that we can check out in here real quick with this system. So RAM test is for the Naomi itself, JBS test is for the board of course, sound test you can figure out on your own, CRT, yep, same thing, system assignments, coin, bookkeeping, backup clock, dim board test. Now, when we enter this menu, one of the things you'll notice is that it's running a quick little diagnostics there. Now, outside of the flashing portion there that says check and 15% and all that other good stuff, you'll notice a program version 1.02. That's also important, so we'll remember that for later. For right now, I'm going to give you a nice zoom into the Naomi. Look at that, really close in. And you won't notice me having turned the game off. Very nice. So now that we saw the game load up, we're going to go over this again. The SCSI cable connects to the DIMM board here. The DIMM board, you'll notice, is our standard DIMM. There's no other connectors here. This little black guy is unhappy because I was talking about burning crosses earlier. But he's also a little PIC. This is called the security PIC. Now that's a programmable IC that Sega loaded some code into. It's got a DES key on it. There's more you can find out about that later. There's a little white sticker that you can barely read here that has some information about what game this is actually from. As you already know, it's from Capcom versus SNK 2. Now one thing for new Naomi users is to see there's a little key guy there. On the little security PIC, you'll also notice the same thing, has a little spring on it. When you put these in, now let me show you it this way. So when you're looking at it, you'll notice that this guy is flat. When you go to put it in, you'll notice that the little guy with a sticker on it will start to rise out. Now one thing that people like to do is mash these guys in here. Don't do that because it's dumb. Okay. Now, of course, to get this guy out, which on systems that somebody has mashed on, sometimes you'll have to go borrow a screwdriver, and that's really bad because you don't want to mess up the socket inside of here or the PIC inside of this plastic housing. So there's on the little side with the tab, push this in, pull, comes right out. You don't have to mash this guy in. It's an important thing to remember. So what we're going to do is set this guy over there. You sit over there, guy. We're going to look back at the GD-ROM. Now, normally there's a screw here, keeps the GD-ROM lid on. But of course I'm using this at home and not in production, so I don't have that. You also notice that I'm having a horrible time trying to get this open because I didn't bother to screw the GD-ROM down either. So having a camera on one hand and having the leverage to open this with the other is not happening. Stand by. Welcome back. Hopefully I'll have video software and edit that out, but I probably won't, and you'll have stared at the back of the Naomi. So you'll see that this is offset here. Open the top of this. What's in there? Oh, it's a Naomi game. Who would have thought? It's actually Garou, Mark of the Wolf. No, that's not correct at all. It's Capcom versus SNK 2, Mark of the Millennium. Of course, we already knew that. So that is the general GD-ROM boot cycle. One of the other things that I want to cover real quick is you'll notice the Naomi is off right now. We're going to zoom in on that Naomi again. Look at that beautiful Naomi. We're going to kick it back on. So, welcome back. We're looking at the Naomi again. Look at that beautiful Naomi. Hopefully I edited out all the nonsense that happened before this, but if I didn't, then welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. So we're going to power on the system one more time, and we're going to look at something real quick. We're going to see, there's that beautiful white screen, there's that Naomi sound. GD-ROM system, of course. Now, at the bottom of the screen here, you'll see Naomi GD-ROM checking memory. 52%, 63, 73, there it goes, it's booting up fast. Now, the thing to notice here is that I just booted the system up from a cold boot, and you can see how quickly it loaded. That's something that we want to keep in mind for just a moment. One thing that's normally wrong when you get these DIMM boards is this just pops open with a screwdriver, which of course I already did in advance. Inside here you'll see a little battery pack. Now this is not AA batteries. You can find out some more information about this battery pack. If this battery pack was dead, you would have to load the game from GD-ROM every single time you started the system. That's anti-fun. There's ways to replace the cells in here, but there's also a charger inside, that little charger circuit that's part of the Naomi. I wouldn't recommend replacing that unless you know somebody pretty good with electronics, because if you improperly charge these, they'll do everything from swell to explode to leak to all sorts of funny stuff, or even damage the charging circuit inside the DIMM board, possibly even the whole DIMM board, possibly even the whole Naomi. So scary thing there, so don't mess with that too much. But the cells can be replaced, the charging circuit can be kept intact, and everything else. I actually have a few extra cells for these if anybody has a dead battery. The cells are reconditioned, so they are guaranteed to last longer than your dead one. And hopefully longer still. Alright, so what we're going to do is replace this cover. Hopefully I have it on here right side up. Maybe not. Pretty strange seeing the whole world through the back of a camera. So when I come back, we're going to talk to... Who are we going to talk to? We're going to talk to myself. What am I talking about?